Okay, I thought I'd give you an introduction to my overall setup before I shoot a video of some of my flights. Um, so I wanted to just show you what I've got set up. What I have is a setup that involves three pretty high-end PCs that were designed for highly intensive gaming um, applications where you've got very, very intense graphics that requires a whole lot of graphics processing horsepower. And what I learned when I started to take a look at what the current flight simulation tools were, I quickly found that there's one software package called X-Plane, which is actually used. Also, the same architecture is used in the multi-million-dollar simulators that the airlines use. And there's a home version of this software called X-Plane 11. And what I quickly learned was that for me to get the kind of setup that I required, where I could basically fly and be able to look out the front windshield of the aircraft, the right and left windows, and do so while also seeing my cockpit controls and instruments and such, because for me, you know, flying on instruments is the most exciting part. Certainly when I was flying before, that was what got me the most excited. So what this means is I needed 4 high resolution and widescreen monitors, and then I needed computers that could drive these things. And then what I learned was that to be able to get the level of graphics detail and intensity, the rendering, the number of world objects, all kinds of parameters in the software, to be able to tweak those up to the maximum values, I ultimately ended up with 3 of these PCs. One PC is the master, and that happens to be the one here on the bottom lower, which is the instruments you'll see in a moment. Another PC drives, and this is like an ultra wide monitor. The one up above is for the front windshield, and this is a ultra wide curved monitor with it's got like 3440 pixels wide of resolution. It's very, very high resolution. And then the 2 outer monitors are 1080 widescreen monitors. All of these are from LG. So it's a pretty fantastic setup. And then I needed my flight controls. So I've got the throttle quadrant, which is the throttles, prop controls, mixture controls, although what you're going to see me flying here in the next couple of videos are what they call light jets, lightweight jets. Then I've got my stick, because most of the most recent jets, both big and small, so like Airbus, 320, 330, 340, they all use a stick instead of a yoke. So I've got a really nice stick here, which gives me all kinds of controls. And then down below the table, as you may have seen before, I've got my pedals to control the yaw of the airplane and to also manage braking and such. So pretty fantastic setup I've got. It's taken me months to get this to where I like it, and I finally have just gotten it to where I like it. So I figured I'd start shooting some videos so you could take a look at what I've got, because this is not something that you can carry around and show people. So basically what it involves when you get things going, it's a little complicated, but basically I have to go into the first PC, start up X-Plane. I have to go into the second PC, so I've got my mouse and keyboard to where I just hit a little button and it switches to the other computer. Start up X-Plane on the second computer, go to the third computer, which is the outer monitors, start up X-Plane on that, come back to the main computer. I'm going to set up my flight, I'm going to pick the aircraft I want. I actually purchase aircraft to get the ones that have the really high resolution. In this case, I'm going to fly what's called an Eclipse 550. This is a twin-engine turbofan jet, small 6-seater, which is really fantastic with some really impressive instruments in it. And it's really it's small type private jet. And in this case, I'm going to pick, I guess for this one I'll just pick San Francisco. Although I've been doing a lot of flying out of Hong Kong lately because the scenery is so impressive there. In fact, maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah, so I'll pick Hong Kong. I can set my weather. Do I want it clear? Do I want it foggy? Low visibility? All this stuff. This thing has full air traffic control. It'll walk me through. I'll be interacting with, and they'll guide me through my entire flight. Time of day. I can set it to where it actually uses my actual time of day. I can set it to where it uses my actual weather wherever I'm at, because it can go and determine that. All kinds of fantastic stuff. So for now, it's like I'll make it clear and local time. And I'll get this thing going, then I'll switch to the other PC, and I'll just tell it to resume its last flight, because what it's going to do is just automatically synchronize up to this main PC, this master. And I'll do the same thing on the third computer. Because this aircraft that I'm going to be using is it's like 4K, extremely high resolution aircraft. It takes it quite a long time to load up. It's very, very intensive, but the result's worth waiting for. So yeah, with this setup, I had to do a whole lot of work. I purchased a really nice table, very wide table, so I could get my full setup on it, and the table actually goes up and down if I want it to. And then I also built, using wood, stands, height adjustment, or stands to get my monitors at exactly the height that I wanted them, so they all matched up very nicely. So that's pretty much an introduction. What I'll do with the next video is show you actually starting a flight up. So that's the introduction to my system.